Welcome, Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and now on iTunes as well. Appreciate the love. One thing, we want to thank y'all for all the love, the support, the comments, the whole kit and caboodle. All right, we here because it's breaking news. Well, it was breaking news. Carson Wentz is now been traded to the Indianapolis Colts for like a second or third, a conditional first based on time he played in 2022 and all this other jargon. So it could end up being, some high draft picks involved, depending on what happens with him in Indianapolis. But now it looks like, as of this moment, Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback for your Philadelphia Eagles. What do y'all think?
For the moment.
Woohoo!
But now, what's your thoughts, Tim? This is just shining moment because you've been 100% Jalen Hurts supporter from day one. So talk to me.
All right. So the news came down, like you said, the news came down yesterday afternoon, I think around noon, that Carson Wentz finagled himself out of Philadelphia into the arms of his beloved new head coach, Frank Reich. Now, we gave him a team, and he blew it in Philadelphia. And I am very happy that he's out of here because to me, he is not. You ever play the game Operation and you had all the injuries and you got to sit there and try to get the bone out and everything? That's Carson Wentz. If you look at it, he had like the concussion, he had the bad back, he had the bad knee, he had the thumb injury, all these injuries that he had over the years. You could actually play the game Operation on him. So I'm glad that he's gone. Now we got a new coach, new quarterback, new receivers, new everything. And then we can just go on and just leave that behind because Carson.
Who's the new receivers?
Well, we're gonna draft one with the number
See,
6.
No,
because
I let you go on and talk.
But let me just tell you my excitement.
You're getting your Ephraim on right now. Go ahead.
Let him get his Ephraim on.
Let
him get his Simon on real quick.
It's shining morning.
Here's why I am excited about what's taking place. Because Carson Wentz was here for 5 years. And I never knew anybody that got so much success, so much love off of one season. 2017. They act as if those last year. And then here's another thing which was the reason why Carson Wentz had to go. Last year, he played in the worst division in the NFL. All he had to do is win 5 games, and you win your division. Hosting a playoff game, he couldn't do that. He's not.
How many did Jalen Hurts win?
Jalen Hurts won a game. He won a game.
How many did he win?
He won.
What was his record?
Doesn't matter.
What you ho. What you're not going to do now? Right. The one thing I will agree with you with is it was time for Carson to go.
Exactly.
It was. It honestly, it's time to scrap the whole thing. It's time for Howie to go too.
I agree with that.
But what I'm gonna say about this is, all I know is, if Jalen Hurts struggles, I don't want to hear you come on here. Well, no, because the coaching is new. No, because there's no receivers. No, I don't want to hear none of that.
Well, why wouldn't you? We all gave Carson.
No, you didn't give Carson. Stop it. You did not give Carson no 5 years. You was ripping Carson from year one, saying that Prescott was better. Yes.
No, I felt that way, and I still feel that way, but I still rooted for Carson Wentz to succeed.
See, this is where I gotta come in, and I agree with Wayne. Tim, your
agenda,
your buffoonery is at an all-time high right now. It's starting to get me mad. I'm letting you bask in your moment, but I'm going to have to fact check you on a number of things.
Like what? Such as?
I'm going to have to fact check you on the fact that you said he only had 1 good year. That's not true. Right. He had 3 good years here with the team. All right?
How?
You try to, let me finish fact checking. You try to say last year, or not last year, but the year before last, you said was the worst division in the league when we went to the playoffs and lost to Seattle. Right? You try to hold that against them, but you can't do that because you're the same dude who campaigned for Dak Prescott, who also played in this same division and couldn't win. Matter of fact, he lost to us in the most important game of the year that would have gotten to the playoffs. So you can't use that logic. So if according to your logic, your own logic, he had a great year and he led his team to the playoffs. He beat your man Dak, took us to the playoffs, and he got hurt in the playoffs.
So you define a 9-7 record as a great year?
What was Dak's record?
Because no, we're not talking about Dak. I'm talking about
no.
Yes.
Where did that? No.
9-7. You consider 9-7 a great year?
Let me handle this, Wayne.
Go ahead, you got it.
Yes, I do. Because every year is in context. We had massive amounts of injuries. We ain't have no starting receivers, and we still got to the playoffs. He still threw over 4,000 yards. So individually, it was a great year for him. Yes, it was a great year.
No.
How can you say anything less?
Because in 5 years, he never won a playoff game at all.
We're not talking about that. You're talking about how he played individually in those games.
9-7. Do you understand? We were actually the only reason why the Eagles got into the playoffs that year is because Dallas completely collapsed. They were going to be in the playoffs, and the Eagles had no chance of.
You say he won no playoff? How many playoff games did he play?
Who? Carson?
Yeah,
one.
Okay, so don't stop trying to make it like he been to all of these playoffs and lost multiple times.
He did because he didn't make it. He
got injured, but this all I'm saying is I can understand your argument about the injured thing. I can understand that, but you trying to sit here and say like he's so trash, this, that, and the other. Like his numbers don't say he was trash. Did he get hurt and was not able to play? That's a valid argument. That's a valid point. But even that being said, you so giddy about Jalen, we don't even know if Jalen's going to be the starting quarterback. Because the Eagles might go out and try to get Deshaun Watson.
Do you think
the Eagles might grab a quarterback?
That's
the
not
Eagles probably, and I guarantee you, the Eagles bringing another quarterback in here because Jalen Hurts ain't showing.
Of course, they're going to bring in another quarterback. You got to have a backup quarterback. Just
no, not a backup. It's going to be a competition. Mark my words. It will be a competition for the quarterback position.
So you mean to tell me the Eagles went all out to hire the offensive coordinator from that grew up with him, that was coached by his dad? You think they're gonna do all that just to say, no, we're gonna compete, we're gonna have you competing with somebody else?
Hey, if you're smart, you will.
There's no logic.
If you're smart, you will.
They did the
because
same
he ain't showed nothing.
They're gonna have a good backup quarterback.
They did the same thing to Vic. They brought Vic in here, Chip Kelly, the mastermind of this whole quick, high-paced offense with a mobile quarterback, and they have Vic campaigning or going against Nick Foles for the was it Nick Foles or who was it? No, not Nick Foles. What's the other dude's name?
No, because last year, the backup quarterback that they actually had in here for Wentz.
Nick was it Cobb? I think it was Cobb. He was going. No, it wasn't Nick. It was Cobb. Was it Kevin Cobb?
It was Nick Foles and Mike Vick.
Okay, well, all right, it was Nick. All right, that's what I'm saying. So they did it. They did it before, but my thing is
they didn't do it last year.
I don't think I think they're leaning toward Jalen, but like Wayne said, did he really show him that he is the answer? Because you keep talking about Carson Wentz getting hurt. Didn't Jalen Hurts get hurt last year? My back was hurt, and that's why I had a bad game the last couple games. Remember that?
Yeah, which way you going to do it? Are you going to say he had a bad game or was he hurt?
The offensive line hurt.
No. When he had a 25 quarterback rating, was he hurt? Or did he have a bad game?
No, he definitely was hurt. Everybody knew he was hurt.
So is he injury prone? He was hurt off for 4 games.
No. It's one thing to be hurt one time. It's one thing to be consistently hurt throughout the entire career.
He got hurt off for 4 games because they teed back and started hitting him because they found out don't give him running lanes and make him pass, and you start hitting him.
Go for it.
All right, here's what I like about Jalen, and there's some things that doesn't concern me, but he has to get better with. Like, for example, him throwing away the ball when there's nothing to throw, when there's nothing there, instead of trying to be Carson Wentz, who's so stubborn. It just came out today, by the way, that Carson Wentz didn't speak to the head coach for 10 straight weeks during a season, during a regular season, refused to speak. His arrogance level was so high. It was just time for that man to go.
But nobody's arguing that it was time for him to go now. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to justify your years of hate on this man.
I like
don't see now you're gonna make yourself disingenuous. Let's keep it a bean. You had years of hate for this man. So Now it's like, yeah, see, this is why I hate him because what he's doing now. You can't do that. Don't do that.
Now? Who didn't talk to who? Are we just blaming Carson and saying he didn't talk to Doug, or was it Doug not talking to him? Who was responsible for that?
But he wouldn't talk to the head coach. He was that's how he was acting.
Who's saying this?
Did Tawana tell you that?
Tawana told me that.
I'm just trying to figure because you know how this goes. We know this game, bro. After somebody leave, all of a sudden it's all this back talk, and he did this, and now they want to paint this bad picture of him. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, bro. You could get caught with the hook, you know what I mean, with the suspect move.
You know what's funny? It'd be the same boys like Tim that you can't trust the media.
Yes.
This and that. But then as soon as they say something that go according to what he like, see, they reporting. Who's they? Who is them?
That's my whole thing.
Who is them? Who is they? The same media that you say has an agenda?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
There you go.
But it'd be the same guys that was saying the stuff you didn't agree with. Now, because you agree with them, like, yeah, see, this is a source of reliable information.
That's why I have to ask questions with Tim, because Tim always want to do that. He always want to, if he hears something that tickle his ear, he like in his ear tickle.
I'm running with it.
Exactly. We know. But that, listen, it could be true to it. I don't know. But like I said, I'm not falling for that so easily because, I mean, for you, I find it hard to believe, bro. 10 weeks during the season? During the season. Coach. I find that hard to believe.
I mean, we already saw how he quit on the team last year when he faked that concussion, and all of a sudden he was like,
"Here you go,
See? Now let him talk because now he's showing his hypocrisy and his fraudulence when he tried to say he was rooting for Carson all these years.
I was rooting for him.
No, you wasn't.
Then he beat on four. Remember, he beat on 4 bad teams at the end of that year to make the playoffs.
Wasn't Dak Prescott one of them teams?
They collapsed. I'm not
but
sticking up for Dallas.
But you hype Nick Foles up. Didn't Nick Foles struggle down the stretch of the season? But we got in the playoffs because Carson Wentz built up such a lead.
Yeah. When he got in there, he almost lost that game to the Giants. No, he did lose to the Giants.
You mean when Carson took him to the Super Bowl and won that year?
Yeah, Carson was responsible.
Yeah, Carson.
When Foles took him to the Super Bowl and won.
Carson was responsible for that momentum that got
him. I'll get Foles. But Foles balled out 2 games that whole stretch.
All right, let me ask you that. Do y'all really think that Carson Wentz would have done what Wentz did? I mean, what Foles did in the Super Bowl.
He would have made it easier. All you got to look at is the Eagles was looked at as being the favorite to get to the Super Bowl from the NFC with Carson Wentz. And with Nick Foles getting there, like as soon as Nick Foles came in, a lot of people were saying they're not even going to make it past the first round. Now, I wasn't one of them because I thought the Eagles defense.
Carson Wentz is a front runner.
No,
the thing is,
I still think.
Well, we gonna see. He gets to go under Frank Reich and with the Colts with talent around him. So we'll see.
Do y'all think he'll be better?
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna have a great season with Indianapolis. I'm not saying he's gonna be 11-2 MVP candidate Carson Wentz, but he's not gonna be the dude we saw last year.
I agree with that.
He's gonna be at a whole different level. I mean, and honestly, this is what I was saying. See, I think it was time for both of them to go really. Honestly, more Doug to me than Carson, because what I saw in Doug's offense, I saw the same thing with Carson as with Jalen. The only reason why Jalen gave a spark to our offense because he got out of Dodge. He did what Carson Wentz in most cases wasn't willing to do, and that was just to run, to keep the ball going, advance the chains, and give us another down. We saw the Dallas game. We came out, scored 2 touchdowns, took an early lead, and then the offense went completely flat. No real movement, no misdirection. I don't like Doug's offense, and I haven't been liking it for quite some time. We'll see if this new dude is innovative and got some stuff to him, but we'll find out. But I can guarantee you this: you ain't going to see the same Carson in Indianapolis next year. I can guarantee you that.
So
and I don't want Tim gets. I don't want to hear none of that excuse. well, Jalen, this really his first year.
That's not fair though, because
no. Because you ripped Carson from day one.
You should, but you got to be lenient because you gave Carson a shot.
Oh, so I will be lenient. Listen, I honestly, I hope the young boy ball out. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he ball. That's still my team. But you hated on Carson Wentz so bad.
I never hated on Carson Wentz.
You were a borderline
I never hated on Carson
fan.
Wentz. I just knew that
Sounded like Ethan is a Nets fan right now. That's how bad you hated.
Yes. He had four bad seasons, one good season. Y'all all rooting for y'all all thinking that, he came back to the means. He's just a okay quarterback.
Oh, Carson?
Yeah.
So which quarterback you think is going to be better next year, Carson or Jalen?
So first year.
No, don't shut up now. Don't shut up now.
If he's so mediocre,
I'm analyzing a first year player versus a fifth year player.
He's not first year. He's not a first year player.
He is a first year.
He's not a first year player.
He's a first year player. You can't count those 4 games. That was
why can't you?
Because he didn't have no preseason, no OTAs, no nothing. He just came in raw.
So basically, we see you making
Patrick Mahomes did it and threw like 50 touchdowns.
Right. So
basically, he didn't. He didn't play that first year. You know it.
Huh?
See, this is all I'm saying though.
That's what I said. He played. It's almost the same thing. He played toward the end of the year, and then next year he came back and threw 50 touchdowns.
But this is all I'm saying though, Tim. You're talking if you're so confident. You're so confident that Wentz is trash and Hurts is the answer. Why would you think that there's even a chance that Wentz will play better than Hurts?
Because he's a young bull. And young bulls, that's what it is. He's a young boy. So it's like it's a lot. But listen.
Your Honor, can we toss him out the court?
Please.
But here's what I'll say in conclusion. I'm rooting for the Eagles. I'm rooting for young Jalen. I'm on
Jalen bandwagon too.
The coach, I don't see with this coach. I don't see I don't see anything special about this coach. Hopefully, his presser is not who he is as a head coach. But
no. Now you already trying to take shots at the coach just in case Jalen don't ball.
Yeah. All right, y'all got anything to say before we wrap this thing up?
Oh man. All right, let me ask you this though, right? So if the Eagles do draft another quarterback and he outplays Jalen Hurts in the preseason, who you rooting for? Are you going to root for that other quarterback?
Absolutely. But they're not going to draft another quarterback. That would just be that's the dumbest thing in the world to do.
If they're getting 9 draft picks, they will.
They're not drafting. They're not going to draft.
They're getting 9 draft picks. Watch them.
I mean, if they draft the backup, it's going to be a true backup quarterback. It's not.
They drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round, and now he's supposed to be the
because that was the plan the whole time. They was getting rid of Carson.
Okay,
that was the plan.
We'll see.
I think, and the emails called it out. We already said it when he went in the second round. They was like they was done after he faked that concussion. They was like, we done with Carson.
No. See this, and this is where y'all not going to spew that narrative because let's be clear. They got rid of Doug because they were going to ride with Carson Wentz. Carson said he wanted out. Carson said
because Doug wanted more power.
Carson okay, but Carson said he wanted out. The owner went and was talking to him and trying to bring him back in. He wanted no parts of Howie.
They didn't want to take that 33. They was going to bring him back because they didn't want to take that $33 million cap hit, which they had.
So why was the owner going out and talking to Carson Wentz, trying to talk him in the stand and trying to talk Zach Ertz into talking to him?
They was just giving him the next year. It was just the following year. He just 1 year premature. They just sped up the growth.
So they drafted a number 2 guy thinking 2 years ahead that they're going to get rid of Carson Wentz.
Absolutely. They want him to develop and grow. That's exactly what
where your tinfoil head at?
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Break that out. You all over the place, Longest. You all over the place.
All right. All I know is that
you already know I'm using my cat eye.
Anybody that actually wanted to leave Philadelphia and wanted out, there's no way in the world I could cheer for somebody who.
Did you cheer for AI? Did you cheer for Barkley?
That's different.
All right, okay.
He gave us 12 years.
Listen, I'm still rooting for Carson.
Neither one of them gave us a chip. But did you? When Barkley said, "Get me out of Philly," did you still cheer for Barkley?
Nope.
And Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham wanted to be out too. You cheered for Randall when he went to Minnesota.
No, they benched Randall. He had to go. They started stuff.
They benched Carson.
That's different.
Listen,
all right, y'all.
My thing is, I'm rooting for Carson. I'm rooting for Jalen as well. I'm rooting for Jalen more. Like I said, I think and I said this on the podcast, I think the way the league is going, I think it's more the way Jalen plays the game is the wave of the future for most quarterbacks. So I'm cool with it. Now, as long as he could, now granted, he still has to pass. It's like Lamar. Lamar can run the ball all day long. He can run 90 yards, 70 yards. But when you get in the playoffs, you gotta know how to pass that football. You gotta know how to call the right play, audible, hot read, whatever, and you gotta be able to throw a dime.
Because to your point, though, Ephraim, that's why I like Carson Wentz, because he did have that mobility early on.
I agree. I'm still real for him. We'll see if he rebounds. I think he will. I think he will rebound. But time will tell.
So y'all can catch us on Spotify, Facebook.
Oh yeah, by the way, Deshaun Jackson, they released Deshaun Jackson too.
Oh yeah, shout out to Deshaun Jackson
for what?
Because he was a great Eagle.
He stole 2 years. So he stole 2 years of a bunch of money.
I have no problem with that.
I agree with Tim. I got no problem with that neither. But I was irritated that when we needed him, he wasn't there. I think he could have helped us going into the playoffs last year. Yeah. Not last year, but the year before we actually went to the playoffs. But needless to say, they did owe him that money for calling him for hating on him and lying on him, especially Chip Kelly actually should have gave Deshaun Jackson that money out of his own pocket. For real.
But we all last year though, that when he quit that
No, you was wrapping it up.
No, I'm saying when he called fair catch and the dude just hit him.
Cut yourself off the way you be cutting us off.
That's true. That is true. Because you do that all the time. But go ahead.
But I got the mic. But don't forget Spotify, Facebook, iTunes, and YouTube. We'll see y'all in our next video. We out.